Hello, may I ask you to please all be seated? I am Thomas Bradbury. I have the honor of serving as chair of the UCLA Department of Psychology, and I'd like to welcome you to our department's doctoral hooding ceremony and celebration. As we begin, I would like to ask you to please silence your cell phones, remain in your seats, and keep the aisles clear whenever possible. Thank you in advance for your respect in keeping the event focused on celebrating every graduate's accomplishments here today. Before I introduce the faculty and candidates, I want to let you know that the program for our ceremony is paperless. You can get the QR code along the aisles and the back of the room. Also, our ceremony is being live streamed and recorded, and the link to view our ceremony will be in our program. If you'd like to take photos of your graduate on stage after the ceremony, please feel free to do so. I would now like to ask my colleagues from the UCLA Department of Psychology to please enter and remain standing. It is my great honor to present the UCLA Department of Psychology candidates for the PhD. I'd like to ask the candidates and the faculty to please be seated. The Department of Psychology at UCLA acknowledges our presence on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Gabrielino Tongva peoples. Today is the culmination of a great achievement, the attainment of the highest academic degree from one of the world's finest universities. Our candidates no doubt feel great pride at their singular accomplishment, and deservedly so. But as the parents, partners, siblings, relatives, and friends of our candidates, you too share in the credit for this great achievement. You've contributed support and encouragement, both tangible and intangible, often across many years, support that has been vital to the remarkable success stories that we recognize today. This is also a wonderful day for us as faculty because the scholars we honor today have truly excelled during their years with us. Over time, they've gone from being our protégés to now becoming our colleagues and our friends. The difficulty of earning a PhD should not be underestimated. First, the students must be accepted into our program. Our department's PhD program receives about 1,100 applications each year, and the applicants are among the very best students in the nation. Only about 5% of those applicants enter our PhD program. Our new students are greeted with advanced courses, and they must complete a first-year research project. There are more courses, a lot more research requirements, a written qualifying exam, a preliminary oral exam, and then a final oral defense. For some, there's also clinical practicum training that is integrated alongside their research training. In addition to cultivating deep knowledge in psychology, our students often develop expertise in a range of diverse areas, ranging from neuroanatomy, linguistics, endocrinology, statistics, more statistics, bioengineering, and physiology, to healthcare economics, computer science, education, genetics, and sociology. Throughout this, we encourage and we expect the very best from our students. Our graduate programs are ranked among the very best in the world, and we recognize that our graduates and are our representatives. We know that our high rankings are based in considerable part on their accomplishments during their time with us and going forward in their own careers. All of you, as graduates, chose a rare and difficult path, and that path involved many choices along the way, including choices about time and energy and sleep and certainly finances. We recognize the challenging path that you've completed. It's a path that resembles and is distinct from the path that we all chose years ago. We're very impressed by your persistence, especially considering what you've experienced during the pandemic, the UC-wide strike, and disturbances in our nation, in our city, on our campus, and certainly across the globe. We admire you, and we're thrilled by your success. To give you some idea of the accomplishments of the graduates we recognize today, let me cite a few more statistics. They've given more than 188 conference presentations. They've published more than 156 scientific articles. They've served as teaching assistants for 123 quarters, thereby helping thousands of our undergraduates. They've received more than 72 major awards. This productivity surely exceeds the accomplishments of the entire faculty in most psychology departments in the United States. Years from now, I'm certain that we'll see the names of many of our graduates among the leaders of their fields. So it's with great pride that we now recognize our graduating doctoral students in the company of their family and their friends. Before introducing our graduate speakers, I'd like to identify 4 of our departmental staff who work especially closely with our graduate students and have been deeply involved in their support during graduate school. Diego Garcia is our graduate advising supervisor. Sarah Trong is our graduate services coordinator. Jonathan Bonilla is our graduate program advisor. And Sarah Rodriguez is our instructional scheduling coordinator. I would also like to thank our Vice Chair for Graduate Studies, Professor Ted Robles. I want to extend my deepest thanks to all of you. It's now my pleasure, It is now my pleasure to introduce one of our candidates who will offer this year's graduate address. Will Sarah Rocha please join us on stage?
It is a privilege to be standing here with an incredible cohort of scholars. During my time in the graduate program, I've had access to a wealth of training and mentorship opportunities, but I think it's fair to say that I learned the most from you all, my peers. Whether we took a class together or collaborated on a research project, you have played such a formative role in shaping my development as a scientist, and I am honored to be graduating alongside you. The road to achieving a PhD is long, and for many of us, the road was not just long, but also had some pretty big bumps along the way, from a worldwide pandemic to campus-wide protests and labor strikes. The fact that you are here today is a testament to your resilience and your perseverance, and I hope that you can take a moment to reflect on this and feel pride in your accomplishment. But I also want to acknowledge that a lot of you may be feeling a deep sense of uncertainty at this moment. Over the past months, we have seen significant cuts to federal funding for scientific research, particularly for work that evaluates how our environment and how inequities in our community shape our health and our well-being. Many of us have been directly impacted or know someone impacted by rescinded research awards, delayed study sections, or canceled job opportunities. These threats to academic science have left many of us graduates with a growing sense of unease about the future of research And perhaps some of us have even started to wonder, was this all worth it? But what I've come to realize, and what I'd like to make a case for, is that right now may be the most important time for you to earn your PhD. These efforts to stall the flow of academic research, to block work that is critical of our institutions, to prevent the dissemination of evidence that is inconvenient for private interests, and to sow the seeds of distrust in science are not new tactics. They represent a method of establishing and maintaining control that we have seen time and time again throughout history. But the education and the training that you received during your time in this program represent some of the greatest barriers to these efforts. You have been trained to be critical thinkers, to evaluate evidence, to understand the requirements needed for causal inference, and to synthesize and interpret research for the public. Your skills are so valuable because there are no budget cuts and no political attacks that can take them away from you. As you take this next step in your career, you act as the cornerstone to the preservation of the scientific method and the pursuit of truth. And if you can take away anything from all the time you spent responding to Reviewer 2, I hope that it's to be fearless in expressing your dissent. So I don't know what the future brings for scientific research funding, but I am optimistic that this group of graduates will make their voices heard, and I have a feeling that science will prevail. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2025.
Thank you, Dr. Rocha. I'd now like to present Professor Ted Robles, Vice Chair for Graduate Studies, who will announce the winner of the Dina Chertoff Graduate Student Service Award. Professor Robles.
Thank you. Dina Chertoff served as graduate advisor in our department for 38 years. And when she retired in 2009, the Graduate Student Service Award was established in her name to honor her caring service to countless graduate students and to the entire department. This award honors a graduate student who has made outstanding contributions to the overall well-being of the students, faculty, and staff in the psychology department. And every year, we have a truly outstanding group of nominees, all of whom make important and impactful contributions to our department. And so I am pleased to announce that this year's recipient of the Dina Chertoff Graduate Student Service Award is Dr. Xochitl Arlene Smola. Will Dr. Smola please come forward? So Arlene's service and leadership extend across our department and into our local community. She made key contributions through her work with our underrepresented graduate students in psychology, or UGSP, student group, starting as chair of the high school outreach committee, followed by serving on the executive board, and this past year was co-president with fellow graduate Riley Sohail. And one highlight is her helping implement the annual survey of graduate student climate and well-being, and presenting those findings at several faculty meetings over the past 2 years. In addition, Arlene was the graduate student representative on our department's Diversity Issues Committee for the past 2 years. She's also made a number of contributions to mentoring, from UGSP's peer-to-peer graduate mentor program over the past 2 years, to mentoring numerous undergraduates through the undergraduate research scholars program. It's the same abbreviation, so that's why I'm messing that up. And our department's psychology research opportunity program. And then finally, Arlene's service extends into our local community. One highlight is she runs the Youth Scientific Council of the UCLA Center for the Developing Adolescent. In that role, she developed an active learning curriculum for high school and college students to learn about neuroscience, science communication, and social policy. And she also co-ran the center's 2-week summer boot camp for high school students on the science of adolescence. So thank you, Xochitl, for your contributions to the well-being of our department, and please join me again in congratulating Dr. Smola for the award. And I'm now pleased to present Distinguished Professor Michelle Krask, who will honor the class of 2025 for their contributions to research and teaching. Dr. Krask.
When you arrived at UCLA, you faced a daunting and unusual challenge, one that is intrinsic to our graduate program and to the profession that you have chosen. What we have asked of you is that you become both composer and performer, that you develop not only the skills to generate knowledge, but also the skills to communicate that knowledge. Research and teaching are the twin foundations of education. Both are essential, and neither is sufficient. Research is the process by which we create what we then teach, and teaching is the process by which we convey knowledge, values, understanding, and ultimately the questions that fuel research. These two noble missions, research and teaching, demand the best of us. Research requires an enormous capacity for hard work, unique talents, and commitment. It demands original and creative thinking, the ability to distinguish what is important from what is not, and at times, a very high threshold for tedium. At its noblest and best, research also requires honesty and respect for others, a commitment to the ideal that research should be free of bias and of other inaccuracies, and that it should be carried out with a deep respect for the welfare of the subject or others who may be affected. To be a teacher, an educator, requires still more. Teaching is its own craft, a complex set of skills to be learned, not an innate gift one is born with. Being able to convey not only the facts of psychology, but the excitement is both an art and a science. Becoming a teacher, in the hallowed sense of that word, is a unique opportunity, honor, and responsibility. And at its noblest and best, teaching requires a commitment to the craft of teaching, a willingness to give of oneself, and a deep respect for what it means to be a teacher. Across your graduate careers, you have embraced, with eagerness and without complaint, this unique challenge of becoming both composer and performer. We are proud of you as scientists, and we are proud of you as teachers.
Thank you, Professor Krask. I would now like to present my colleague, Professor Laura Ray, who will announce the winner of the Joseph A. Gengarelli Distinguished Dissertation Award.
Professor Gingerelli, for whom this Distinguished Dissertation Award was named, is remembered and loved for his teaching, inspiration, and guidance of students, and for his innovative research, excellence as a colleague, and departmental leadership. The candidates' committees nominate dissertations for the Gingerelli Distinguished Dissertation Award, which is and a special faculty committee makes a final award decision. The task of selecting one dissertation as the most outstanding is quite difficult. We view this as an opportunity to select one superior dissertation from among a set of other superior dissertations. Awardees do not find out they have won the Gingerelli Award until it is announced here today. I'm proud to announce Dr. Gabrielle Ryan, Dr. Gabrielle Riney is the recipient of the Gingerelli Distinguished Dissertation Award, and Dr. Ryan's dissertation is Perinatal Influences on Infant Regulatory Processes, Dynamic Biopsychosocial Mechanisms During the Prenatal Period and Early Infancy. The chair of Dr. Ryan's doctoral committee is Professor Chris Dunkelstetter. Professor Dunkelstetter will describe the research. Congratulations.
I am delighted to present the Gingerelli Distinguished Dissertation Award to Dr. Gabrielle Rini, who I will probably call Gabi because that's us. Her doctoral committee enthusiastically nominated her for this award, all thumbs up. Dr. Rini came to UCLA with a clear interest in studying developmental health and biology, and she took full advantage of our department's excellence in health psychology, quantitative methods, and developmental science, working with many faculty members across areas. She has 20 papers published or under review, half of which are first authored, and others in collaboration, and others in preparation. Many of these are in collaboration with other UCLA graduate students, postdocs, and faculty. In particular, she has publications with a number of undergraduates whom she mentored throughout her time here and who have presented and published their work. She received several UCLA awards and fellowships, including the 2023 UCLA Health Psychology Prize for the most outstanding research paper. And this is by itself an exceptional record, and her dissertation capped it off. The objective of her study, her dissertation, was to identify predictors of infant biological and behavioral regulation in two complementary studies. Biobehavioral regulation refers to the intricate interplay of biological and behavioral processes involved in an infant's emerging ability to manage their emotional arousal and other adaptive responses. It's crucial for healthy development. Dr. Rini's two dissertation studies in this topic are sophisticated, programmatic, and novel in many ways. She integrated the central tenets of two developmental theories, and her thesis examines how the intensity of and variability in early influences on the offspring in utero and in early infancy influence infant emotional and behavioral regulation during the first year of life. The results from both studies provide novel evidence of some of the mechanisms by which mothers' biology, psychology, and social factors contribute to early infant regulatory processes, as indicated in observations of infant behavior in a laboratory interaction with the mother, maternal reports of the infant temperament 1 year later, and infant immune cell gene expression. She utilized data from an existing longitudinal study of mine and collaborators of women, looked at longitudinally, I said that, during pregnancy and postpartum, and their infants over the first year of life. It was conducted in Los Angeles and Denver. However, the original study design did not include either of Gabi's dissertation studies. She creatively designed and executed each of these studies for her dissertation research, building on the original study design and methods and creating distinct studies that are entirely her own and not part of the original research plan. Study 1 involved 118 mothers and their 1-month-old infants and was in collaboration with Dr. Steve Cole, who is an expert in social genomics in the UCLA Geffen School of Medicine. Using existing maternal interview data and inflammatory markers from mothers' blood samples, she conducted infant gene expression analyses and found that maternal psychological distress, measured as anxiety and depression, and maternal inflammation predicted both infant behavior and immune gene expression. And these results are already under review in brain behavior and immunity. The second study was a subset of 77 mothers and their 1-month-old infants who interacted in a controlled laboratory setting and were videotaped. Dr. Rini organized a team of graduate and student assistants to code the videotapes using a novel method for microcoding dynamic interactions. I actually don't understand it. That's how much of a leader she is. Dr. Lee does. He worked closely with her. Results indicated that specific characteristics of mother-infant interactions predicted infant emotional behavior in the videotapes and infant temperament 6 months later. The combined results of these two studies in her dissertation advanced scientific knowledge on biology, psychology, and social processes by which early fetal and infant environments predict infant regulation during the first year of life. Since early regulatory processes can forecast later health and well-being, these studies have broad long-term implications. This dissertation illustrates Dr. Rini's exceptional scholarship, her independence, and her ambition to be a top research scientist and academic. I am confident she's on that pathway to achieve her goal. Her next step is to complete a postdoc with another of our top graduates, Professor Darby Saxby at crosstown rival USC. Her graduate work has exceeded all of my expectations. She's my last PhD. I am retired, and I am honored to bestow this award on you. Please help join me in congratulating her. Great fun.
All right. So we will now present our candidates, the class of 2025, in formal recognition of their distinguished achievements and their contributions to the field of psychology. They are receiving the Doctor of Philosophy, the PhD. This is the highest academic degree awarded by the university. This tradition that we're doing, doctoral hooding, dates back to the 12th and 13th centuries. The blue velvet on the hood represents the PhD degree, and the blue and gold colors visible on the back represent UCLA's colors. The candidate and the faculty placing the hood on the candidate will be joined on stage by our chair and distinguished professor Tom Bradbury. And now will the candidates please rise and form a line. Faculty, once you see your graduate on stage left and hear their name be announced, please stand. After I call your name, you can make your way next to Professor Bradbury. And Tom, you can hang. We have 17 candidates who we are honoring with a PhD today, and one of our candidates will file their dissertation by the end of the summer. I'm proud to present Dr. Margot Elise Barclay. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Steve Lee, and the title of her dissertation is Correlates of Parenting Behavior Across Development, Interactive Associations with Child Disposition, and Implications for Child Outcomes. Congratulations. I'm proud to present Dr. Nora Marjorie Barnes-Horowitz. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Michelle Krask. Her dissertation title is The Role of Reward Processes and Positive Emotions During Exposure. Congratulations. Oh. I'm proud to present Dr. Christine Ann Bird. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Lauren Ng. Her dissertation title is Defining, Measuring, and Predicting Childhood Emotional Neglect. I'm proud to present Dr. Elizabeth Sarah Bocanegra. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Denise Shavira. And her dissertation title is Treating Adolescent Anxiety and Depression with Family Mindfulness. I'm proud to present Dr. Young Vivian Byun. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Anna Lau. Her dissertation title is Examining Leader-Provider Alignment and Perspectives of Organizational Climate for Evidence-Based Practice Implementation, Implications for Motivational Interviewing and Substance Use Disorder Treatment Clinics. I'm proud to present Dr. Susanna Donato. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Laura Ray. And her dissertation title is Advancing Medication Development for Alcohol Use Disorder Using Randomized Clinical Trials. I'm proud to present Dr. Shu-Hao Fu. He will be hooded by the chair of his doctoral committee, Professor Hongjing Liu, and his dissertation title is Perception and Reasoning with Visual Relations in Humans and Machines. I'm proud to present Ringo Huang. He will be honored by the chair of his doctoral committee, Professor David Cluett. His dissertation title is Attentional Dynamics, Shaping the Architecture of Episodic Memory. Congratulations. I'm proud to present Dr. Naomi Klein. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Jana Juvonen. Her dissertation title is Mistaken Racial Identities, the Role of Biracial Youth's Friends and How Classmates Miscategorize Their Race. I'm proud to present Dr. Lauren Lesko. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Marty Hazelton. Her dissertation title is Menstrual Cycle Shifts and Cross-National Variation in Attraction. I'm proud to present Dr. Mason Graham McClay. He will be hooded by the chair of his doctoral committee, Professor David Cluett. His dissertation title is Arachne's Loom, How Emotion Weaves the Temporal Tapestry of Memory. proud to present Dr. Francesca Guardasi. She will be hooded. Oh, go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed you. Sorry. I was looking. Sorry. I'm proud to present Dr. Stephanie Mena Peñafiel. Sorry. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Han Du. Her dissertation title is A Bootstrap Algorithm for Testing the Equality of Phi Correlation Matrices in Text Mining. Okay, now I'm proud to present Dr. Francesca Guardasi. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Bridget Callaghan, and her dissertation title is Early Caregiving Adversity and Internalizing Symptoms in Middle Childhood to Adolescence, Gut Microbiome and Inflammatory Mechanisms. I'm proud to present Dr. Gabrielle Rose Rinnie. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Christine Dunkelschetter. Her dissertation title is Perinatal Influences on Infant Regulatory Processes, Dynamic Biopsychosocial Mechanisms During the Prenatal Period and Early Infancy. I'm proud to present Dr. Sarah Rocha. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Andrew Fellini. Her dissertation title is Coming of Age in the Context of Low Socioeconomic Status, the Influence of Socioeconomic Resources on Inflammation, Depressive Symptoms, and Sleep During the Transition from Adolescence to Young Adulthood. I'm proud to present Dr. Ryan Sibillo. He will be hooded by the chair of his doctoral committee, Professor Hien Huo. His dissertation title is Blurring Boundaries, a Social Categorization Approach to Facilitate Tolerance Toward Diversity. I'm proud to present Dr. Xochitl Arlene Smola. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Andrew Fellini. Her dissertation title is Signals of Worth, Implications of Discrimination and Feeling Needed and Useful for Adolescent Well-Being. I'm proud to present Dr. Riley Sohail. She will be hooded by the chair of her doctoral committee, Professor Tiffany Brannon. Their dissertation title is Shaping Solidarity, Intersectional Awareness, and Collective Action. Well, graduates, please stand and face the audience. Family members, friends, and maybe we can get the house lights up. Family members and friends, I'm pleased to present the class of 2025.
In concluding, I want to thank you all for celebrating this momentous occasion with us. When we began this ceremony, I addressed the parents, partners, family, and friends of our graduates. Now I'd like to address the graduates. Welcome to the community of scholars. When you entered this venue, you and the faculty entered separately. We, the faculty, want to conclude this ceremony by leaving together with you as colleagues. Will the faculty please rise and prepare to join your new colleagues? You are risen, very well. And now you make your way stage right. Will our new PhDs please join the faculty during the recessional?